in the celebration of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, which was yesterday, the 11th of February. Every single year, we celebrate the day that was set by the National Union. So today we are gathering here in an event that has been organized by the Department of Geography and Planning in the University of Liverpool. Although it is a school-wide event, so we have panelists and participants from the two departments that are included within the School of Science in the University of Liverpool. I would like to briefly introduce, before we start with the panelists, first of all, my name is Encarni Montoya. I'm a lecturer in physical geography here at the University of Liverpool. And I would like to show you some basic data of why we are still in the need of celebrating an International Day of Women and Science, or Women and Girls in Science. So if we look at a global scale, we always say that here in Europe, we are still very privileged to be born as females, because we are finding quite a lot of inequalities and disadvantages in many countries still in the 21st century just for being born as a girl. Even if we look to more as we would say, more developed countries, there are still plenty of, let me put just this here. There is plenty of gaps and problems that we face as women, or especially as girls. There are many studies that relate that until the age of 5, boys and girls don't have a gender perception of their capabilities, so they think that they are capable of doing anything. But from the age of 6 onwards, girls start relating the gender with the capability of performing hard tasks, and that ends with some girls accepting the fake fact that difficult things are not for girls, that they are not capable of achieving difficult tasks. And that unfortunately relates to science subjects, like, for instance, the topic sentence that girls don't do maths, as an explanation to a teacher of why you are having a low rate or a low degree in your maths modules. So if we move on towards later stages when we are adults, within and outside of academia, women face what is called the ceiling glass. And this is the problems and difficulties that many women, as I say, within and outside academia, in any single company, in many different jobs, they face to reach the higher posts of their company or wherever. So they have difficult access to the promotion and to arrive to CEO jobs and things like the directors of the companies and stuff like that. We can see that more closely in academia with what we call the Csus Graph. And the Csus Graph, what it makes, what it shows is that during the undergraduates, there is plenty of disciplines where the abundance of women versus men is pretty much the same. But as long as we start phasing towards the more senior stages in academia, whereas the females start decreasing in the abundance, the males start increasing. So even that we start at even numbers, to reach the more senior positions, there is a huge gap between women and men. And this is what we normally call the leaky pipeline. Okay, it's like that. We start having a lot of females involved and interested in research, but we have to face several issues and problems related to this glass ceiling that prevent us to arrive to the final or the higher stages in academia. And this is the example of UK universities, where you can say again, this clear example of the leaky pipeline, where the undergraduates percentages is much higher than the senior posts. Okay, so in order to prevent that this issue is continue happening, we have to celebrate this International Day of Women and Girls in Science, where one of the purposes is to show girls in school that there are role models, that it is possible to be female and have a proper and proliferant research career, and that if you want to do something, you are more than capable of doing it. Okay, so I don't want to take this any longer. This is Kate Robinson, which is the other organizer of this event that you will see it in a minute. But let's start with the first speaker of today.